Thank you everyone for joining us today for the grand opening of Harmon Park. Welcome, Mayor Arrigo. Woo! So as always, I have a very long list of thank yous, and I do hope that I don't leave anybody out, and please forgive me, it's completely unintentional. Thank you. We're very grateful for the support of Mayor Arrigo and the entire City Council, especially Charlie Patch, who has been with us planning this for the last 2 years. So big round of applause. None of this, of course, would be possible without the assistance of the North Revere Neighborhood Group. If you're here, raise your hands. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done it without you. It's been an amazing journey, and without you, this wouldn't be here, in addition to the 3 swings that we had for a number of years. So thank you so much. And all of the neighborhood, you owe a lot of gratitude to these folks that worked really hard. We met once a month for maybe a little bit over 2 years. So thank you so much. The city project team, Mike Kessman, the project engineer is here, Paul Agenzio, Frank Stringy, Mike Hinojosa from the Director of Parks and Recreation. They're the core members. We've been meeting together for days and days and days, working through the particulars of every little thing in this playground. Collectively, we can share a vision, but without funding these projects, none of them can be attainable. Our funding sources here are the Park Grant, which is the Massachusetts Parkland and Acquisitions and Renovations for Communities program. The Park program was established in 1977, and it's facilitated through the Massachusetts Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. It's also funded by the Community Development Block Grant funds, and we had also contributions from Revere on the Move, which gives an annual contribution to a new park each year. We have a contractors that also we need to thank, which is Ultiplay Playground, for their excellent leadership on the community build. Also, a shout out to all the volunteers, each and every one of you that helped put all of these structures together. It was a long couple days and it was a lot of work, so thank you so much. For all the site preparation, the concrete pours, and all of that, we have Camdell Construction. Lewis over here to my right. A shout out of appreciation to the Rossi family for their patience through all of the construction and the trucks running up and down their street just behind us. The Food and Planning Committee for feeding all of the volunteers, especially Fran, Rose, Norma, and Margot that joined us from Oak Island, making sure that everybody had something to keep them going. Okay, here's my long, long list. I'll try to be brief. Action Emergency Services, Michael Zachariah and his wife Danielle and his crew. They do anything they can to support the city, and they're a big part of our community builds. We've had another amazing contributor this year with this playground, which was JetBlue. With a large, hard-working crew, they even brought blue chips and great giveaway items for all the volunteers. So thank you so much to JetBlue for their dedication and bringing their whole crew. To Bob Mahoney for moving mountains, literally, of mulch into this playground. For Clean Joe, just across the street, for his generous food donations. Miranda Dwelling, the Chamber of Commerce, Revere on the Move, Beachmont Improvement Committee, the Carpenters Union and Local 22, Cambridge Health Alliance, the Quality Inn for their ongoing support of the North Revere Neighborhood Group. They've allowed us meeting space for the last few years, anytime we need it, so we really appreciate that. Revere Public Schools for coming out and supporting us on the build. The Revere Police Department, who's always been on hand to help us with whatever we needed along the way. The Revere DPW. No way we could have done it without them. They were there all the time for this and that, small, big, anything we needed. So thank you for that. Revere Parks and Recreation, again, also there with anything we needed. And a special thanks to the councilors that were out for the build, Charlie Patch, Councilor Steve Morabito, Councilor Ira Novoselsky, the North Revere Neighborhood Group, and the overwhelming support of the residents for this project. And always, we can't forget Tom Feely for the famous sausages, because LT Play said they wouldn't take the contract unless they had the sausages. So that's my long list of thank yous. So a round of applause to all of you that are here because you were a part of it in some way, shape, or form. I'd like to bring up the mayor for a moment here, and then we'll be bringing up the rest of our agenda. So Chief Guido will be leading the Revere Police Department to raise the flag here for the first time. This is one of the design plans from the Revere Neighborhood Group. So this is really an exciting moment because this is something that they wanted to highlight, was the red, white, and blue theme, which you see behind us, and the first park that we're putting a flag in. So it's a great new addition and a great idea. And following that, we'll have the national anthem, and Mark Silvestri will speak to rededicate the park to James Harmon. Mayor Arrigo.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to start my remarks by apologizing profusely for being about a half hour late. As mayor, you have the occasion to have somebody that drives you around every once in a while. And I have a young guy, maybe a little bit too young. He kind of got a little lost on the way here. So I was coming from a meeting in Boston. So Nick, I won't hold it against you, but we got to do better the next time. So my sincere apologies. This is an amazing day. Elle thanked everybody in the world, I think, but let's hear it for Elle Baker and the incredible work that she's done. Great job. And this is quite a park, and I think it's a great example of what happens when we have individuals in the community and in the neighborhood who take interest and make sure that they want to see something happen, and they actually see it through with the help of the entire community, the employees of the city, private companies, and each and every one of you who made today possible. It really is truly a community effort and something that I think we're all very proud of. We have a few other members that I do want to shout out. We have Joan Machillo from Speaker DeLeo's office with us today. State Representative Rosalie Vincent. School committee members Carol Ty and Jerry Visconti. And of course, our Ward 2 City Councilor, Ira Novoselsky. So, with that, I look forward to seeing a lot of happy faces enjoying this park, and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Arrigo. With that, I'd like to introduce Chief Guido, as well as Sergeant Michael Travato and Officer Joseph Turner for the raising of the flag. I'd like to invite Olivia Frenny up to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were still gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and of the free and the home of the brave?
That was amazing. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite out Mark Silvestri for the rededication of the park.
Thank you, El. Let's hear it one more time for Olivia Frenny. First, I'd like to recognize Mr. Harmon's grandson, Kenny, in the crowd today. Since taking veteran services over the last few years, I've come to find out that the city of Revere has a ton of heroic courage, determination, a ton of military honor and pride, and that was everything that Mr. Harmon was. America was not built on fear. America was built on courage, imagination, and the unbeatable determination to do the job at hand. So, I see all that here today, if you look around. I see courage in our veterans in the crowd and our Revere Police Department. I see imagination in the red, white, and blue in the park, in the drive that all the groups got together to put this on. I see the determination of unbeatable to just get the job at hand, to just get it done. And that comes from our local administration, our state delegation, all the groups that got together to get Harmon Park dedicated. And these are all things that Mr. Harmon stood for. James Bradley Harmon was a World War II veteran, born on June 1st, 1890. He settled his family here in North Revere, not too far from Harmon Park. He founded the Franklin Park Improvement Association many years ago. James and his wife Gertrude had the park dedicated to them originally in June of 1981. James worked for Eastern Gas, and his dedication and lifelong determination to make Revere a little bit better was shown here today. I mean, look at the crowd that came to celebrate this park today, and this says something for not only Mr. Harmon but Revere itself. And thank you for all coming out today. Al, let's cut this ribbon.
I see that the driver has the scissors. Come on over. Mayor Rigo? Everyone up? North Revere Neighborhood Group, come on up. Kenny Harmon, come on up. Elected officials, come on up. Come on up.
Hello there. I'm Kenny Harmon. I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I'd especially like to thank all the people that had spent the time putting the screws in this park that made it happen. It means a lot to me. I'm sure it means a lot to my grandparents. They were very humble people. I actually didn't know as much about them as what's been told here today, because they were humble and they did not brag. And they loved the community, and they would do anything for it. They would stand up for anyone they thought was right that was being wrong. That's why they're remembered today. And one thing about all of that, you can't keep everyone happy all the time, but they did their best to fix whatever they could that was wrong, and that's why they are recognized here today. I wish the family maintained and was a little stronger than it was today, and there'd be more people to represent us, but that's the way things go. But I'm very proud to stand here today and see that the park is going on as it was when it was dedicated back. The actually date, and I don't want to correct anybody, was July 26, 1981. This park was first dedicated. I apologize if I'm stepping on anyone for that. But I just want everyone to know that my grandmother, okay, was the strength behind my grandfather. And without her strength and her ability to communicate with this community, this would not be taking place today. So it's always the woman, I believe, that is behind a strong man. And I will stand by that. Unfortunately, I'm single and I have no kids, but hey, I guess I don't stand by it. But anyhow, anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. And like my grandmother said, when she ended her final say, went up on the podium back in 1981, she says, "This is for the kids. It's for them to respect and treat the park as if it was your own. Take care of it, and enough of that, and go at it, kids. You have yourself a ball," is what she said, I believe.
Thank you so much. Can we have everyone up here to cut the ribbon? Come on up.
I'll use this to hold me up.
Tony, get in.
Can I get in there, Phil?
Ready?
Ready?